Hi, Bill Henshaw here again on my YouTube channel, I Win in Court, and I'm going to be discussing some recent news. Many of you probably saw it on the internet or read it in the paper, where the federal government is now refusing to charge those who committed what looks a lot to me like second-degree murder of Eric Garner. They're not going to do it. The state didn't do it, and as far as I know, these bastards still have their jobs, for crying out loud. There's even an administrative hearing on that, and they're still working. What the hell is going on here? These are second degree murderers here. But this is where the Constitution comes into play, and in a big way. Because, and they should have been tried in state. I mean, no question about it. If you're going to go to federal court, they're virtually going to have to use the civil rights statutes. And here is a rare area where the real issue may come up, because you got these police associations and their political action committees that support all these people in the state capitals and keep them out of trouble. They may actually make the right argument, which is that the 14th Amendment doesn't exist. Therefore, civil rights, quote unquote, as such, don't exist, and it would have thus been impossible for the officers to have violated the civil rights of Eric Garner. That's the issue. I'd love to get that one out there, hopefully in a better context than this one. But that's the real issue as to why this is happening. Because there's a real chance they're going to get that, and not only that, the issue might make it in short order to the 904 in Washington, D.C., the U.S. Supreme Court, and we'll get a ruling on it, finally. But this is why. And this, to me, is just an extension, by the way, of the earlier case with O.J. Simpson, where he was not tried. There wasn't even any effort made, as far as I know, by the Fed to try him for violations of civil rights pursuant to the death of Nicole Brown. And the reason for that is, as you know, Nicole Brown was white. So you read the Civil Rights Act of 1866, you can look it up. It's right in there, and you read it, and it says, that the freedmen now have all these rights, etc., as are enjoyed by white citizens. What that means is we had them before. We didn't need them with the Civil Rights Act. We didn't need them with the 14th Amendment. We have a separate and clearly identifiable citizenship. Yet it's one that's not recognized in this day and age. It hasn't been for, God knows, 100 years maybe. And it's to the point now where this birthright citizenship out of the 14th Amendment, as you probably are aware, the president thinks he can summarily terminate without notice or opportunity to be heard with an executive order as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. That's another big issue I'd love to get out there, because how is that possible? And if he can do that, what does that tell you about the jurisdiction of federal courts and state courts? Those are martial law courts, not common law. And we're guaranteed common law courts. It's about damn time we had them. But you get cases like this, and even in a rare case, by the way, where the perpetrator, does get convicted. It comes to the case of Oscar Grant, who, as far as I'm personally concerned, was murdered, second-degree murder, by Johannes Messerly in the Fruitvale BART station when he confused his 9mm with a taser. How likely is that to have happened? And for those of you that don't know, the bottom line is this bastard actually does get convicted and serves some time. What did he get? 18 months. Got let out for good behavior somewhat earlier than that. Now the bastard ought to still be in jail, 25 years to life, if not more than that, and it's not happening. These are the kinds of things that we have to fix. And going the direction I'm going, you're going to hear much more about this in the next video. We can do it. We have the power to change these things if we just know how to do it. Even if they don't like it, who cares? We can do it. But yeah, this whole nonsense, it just has to stop. And some of the biggest corporates here are the leaders of the Civil Rights Act movement. They're selling out their own people. Whether they know it, as much as what I know, I don't know. But if they keep the problems continuing and they keep, the divide and conquer mentality here, nothing changes. But the good news for the people at the head of the Civil Rights Movement is they keep their jobs and they keep their power. It has to make you question their integrity at the outset. And this would be true other than just in the context of civil rights. Anybody that has an agenda like this, where if you solve the problem, you go out of business, you do have to wonder about that. So in any case, I'll have updates on this as they come in. But, if we work together, and oh, by the way, this is exactly the message I have for you in this video. This is what we should be doing right here. We all work together, doesn't matter, liberal, conservative, whatever. This is what we have to do, unite as one and take this nation and republic back. Get it away from these New York gangster bastards. Sorry. Thank you.